What's up, gang? We got another one here. This is SeeMikeDunn. So this is Mike Dunn. He's a shooting coach. I think he's more of a personal in-person shooting coach, but he does a ton of online stuff too. I think his content's generally pretty good. He kind of gets straight to the point, but his specialty is shooting, teaching shooting, speaking on shooting. This one's called How to Shoot a Pull-Up Jump Shot, and I thought it would be interesting because we're breaking down a lot of one-on-ones lately, and then we've broken down a couple other trainers, and to see how I talk about how I teach pull-up jump shot, like where we move the shooting pocket and all that. So I'm interested to see what Mike Dunn does, pun intended. Unfortunately, I've reached out to him a couple times. Maybe I'm not big enough in the basketball space. I've reached out to him to try to have some conversations, pick his brain and all that. Hasn't happened yet, but fingers crossed. We'll try to get that done for you guys. But yeah, let's check it out. Let's see Mike Dunn.
Today we are going to talk about why you struggle with pull-up jump shots and how we can start to fix that. The first thing that I see often happen is players go as fast as they can into their pull-up, they raise up, and they have way too much power here. So what do players do to combat that? They actually start
So you're going to talk about decelerating?
to go into their pull-up, and they'll slow down. And when they slow down, then they'll take their normal shot because they feel like they don't have as much power behind the ball and it's much more manageable. How do we actually find this place where we can go just as fast into our pull-up jump shot, not have to slow down, but then feel like we don't have too much power? And that's where understanding high hands comes into play. If I was to put this ball down, right?
Okay. My thoughts are, this is why I have a kind of a big issue with a lot of online coaching, because every single case is obviously the context is completely different, right? So there's an invisible player here. There's no player that Mike is coaching, and then I'm giving advice on like an invisible player too. There's no player here that I can use. So in my brain, when he says most people struggle with this, I actually find most people struggle with pull-up jump shots because there's defense. Like I look at that and go, they're not shooting open shots. Like if they're shooting an open mid-range shot, they're fine. The reason people struggle with a pull-up jump shot is typically the movement part of it, or more so it's the defense. It's that little, you only have like a split second to get into your shot, get into your foundation. So if you can get the defense off balance and then quickly get into your balance. So we talk about footwork a lot, balance, being in an athletic stance. If you can get them off balance and quickly get into an athletic stance, the rest is then easy. The rest is now the jump shot that I talk about. So I speak about basketball probably more holistically than Mike does. His is probably more focused intently on the shot, which is fine. But I teach, I've watched a couple videos where people are like, man, you're missing so many mid-range shots because when you're shooting, the hand is in your face. So you need to like fade further away. And I'm like, no, you need to not shoot it because there's defense there. So let's see how he breaks it down. But I already would have approached this like far different. I don't think many people need to really worry about pull-up jump shots going full speed. Like, you should go full speed to the basket, or you should be catching and shooting. Majority, I would say 80% of your shots are going to be that catch and go or catch and shoot. The pull-up jump shot is for players where there's like help side. So if the help side is there and you can't get all the way to the basket, or if you're the man, you're dribbling, all eyes on you, you drive to the basket, pull up. But really, like you shouldn't be forced to shoot a lot of pull-up jump shots. And if you are, I don't find scenarios where you're running full speed and shooting too fast like what he's talking about. So I think this is a very niche situation. If this is specifically what you're struggling with, this is probably going to help, but if not.
And I was to just drop maybe just a little bit here.
This is that athletic stance we talk about, right? Offense, defense, rebounding, driving, everything we want to do from here. So the quicker you can get to there, the quicker you can act and do anything. So defensively, if you can chest bump someone and get them a little bit off balance, you can get back to an athletic stance. Now you can be the aggressor. On offense, if you're Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and you drive, boom, and you can bump someone, then you can get back to your athletic stance. Now you can shoot that little fadeaway.
Right? I'm not going to have as much power to push up through the ground this way, jumping in the air, as I would have if I were down here. I have a lot more, I'm loaded here, and I have a whole lot of room.
Sorry, this is an athletic stance, my bad.
or a whole lot of potential energy.
And this is why I say you don't need a negative step. You can use a negative step, but if you're already loaded up and athletic, you should be able to just boom, drive past someone, right? Boom, drive past someone. Usually people in that stance he was earlier, just a little bit higher up. So then you need to go into a negative step or a plyo step or whatever to go.
In here to push up and jump much higher versus being up here.
So interesting how he teaches. I love hearing how other basketball coaches' brains work, because he's identifying this problem as a jump shot problem. I'd be looking at this as that player just as a holistic basketball fundamental. Like, you need to be able to get into an athletic stance. That's going to fix your jump shot. It's going to fix your drive. It's going to make it easier for you to dribble, harder for the defense to steal. It's going to make your rebounding better. It's going to make your box out, your post up better.
Here, what we create here with our body, we can also kind of think about what we create with our shooting arm. When I'm in this position in my 2, I have lower hands. Right? And what I mean, I have a really nice, strong lever here. So this angle right here, I have tons of power. And you can just imagine that if I'm going into a pull-up jump shot as fast as I can, I elevate and I have that strong lever right there, I'm going to have all this energy being sent up, but I'm fully loaded here with so much power that finding that accuracy, finding that control can be really difficult. If this is the same thing as me being low, well then I want to lessen the power that I have up here. So with me being high, the equivalent with my upper body would be a lever like this. So tons of power, less power.
Interesting. I'm just thinking through this. So is he advocating for a different set point depending on how fast you're running?
Tons of power, less power. I can go into
TJ McConnell has that shot where he's like way up in the air.
To a pull-up jump shot as fast as I possibly can, and as I'm going into that jump shot as fast as I can then take all that energy I'm creating on the ground, and I can transfer that up vertically, and I can get higher hands up top here so I don't have to slow down, and now I'm not going to feel like I'm going to shatter the backboard.
Okay, I'm going to watch another video of his because that was really quick. I don't know if it explained it exactly well, if he was advocating for a higher shot or if he was just advocating. Mike, this is why I'm trying to talk to you, man. I got some things to pick your brain. Or if he's saying to get into your shot and then that energy transfers all at the same time. Interesting. Let's watch another video. All right, again, I'm nitpicking here, but this is where I'm very pedantic when it comes to footwork, getting into our shots. I don't really teach shot mechanics very much because I think everyone's shot is so different. I teach a lot more. I teach a lot more of concepts and the fundamentals of like how to get to a spot, but then like the shooting, you can go do that on your own, or you can go to a Mike Dunn. So I'm not going to focus too much on the shooting mechanics unless something stands out. But like, to me, with this first little action here, I just have so many issues with this as a basketball play in general. So let's see, catching. So he'd be catching this presumably off a screen, and then you'd be reading. But to me, I'm like, this is just not a real basketball move with real defense. Like if they're going over the top, so that's why this space is open. Well, that's still going to be a tough shot because they're just going to follow behind you. But it should be more direct lines, right? If you catch and then just go straight to the basket, I think almost always going straight to the basket. If you're going sideways at this weird angle, I actually think your angle is the 3-point line. Yeah, I just don't see often how, like, when this shot happens.
Levels. Watch. Here, you be me. At all times, I got to think of myself as a threat, right? When I come off of this and I make that turn here, I don't want to catch up here, because if I catch here, I'm high. That's much slower than I have to get. So your work has to be done before the ball gets there in terms of I turn, I'm already digging down this way.
I mean, I guess it depends.
And now I'm on balance and I'm able to rip through. But if you're going high, low like that, that's that roller coaster.
I actually use the high low to get myself open for the shot.
Levels, roller coaster results.
Catch high, dip your shoulders low, and the defense usually reacts, and then I rise up, or catch, dip your shoulders low and explode and go by. I don't think you want to like always stay at like specific levels, but maybe like a JJ Redick if you're wanting to like catch and shoot as quick as possible.
Get low, get low, get low. There you go. Chest.
And here's again that negative step we talk about.
Results. Get low, get low.
So I got this little thing up here. Actually, someone said if I hold this, it should. No, it doesn't work. So if I hold the slow down button, it doesn't work.
Get low, get low.
But watch this. So I just think the footwork here is just off anyways. So I think you should be catching in your athletic stance that we talk about, right? Catch in your athletic stance. So right here, if you're in an athletic stance, kind of in the way, if you catch completely with an athletic stance, on that catch, you should be able to catch and shoot. You should be able to catch, drive left, or you should be able to catch and drive right. Now, if you're driving left, I would want your left foot. Oh, so you guys can't, sorry, I'm using the mouse on the wrong side. So you would want to drive left, drive right, or shoot, okay? So if I catch here in my athletic stance and I drive left, I want my left foot to take that step. That's one dribble to the basket. If I catch and go right, I would want my right foot going first, one dribble to the basket. But the way he steps here is he can only go left. He was only ever going to go left. And then he can't shoot it. Like the way he's getting his footwork going. So a good defender is just going to like blow that whole play up. That closeout you've kind of ruined against a good defender. And I wonder, so let's say he did want to shoot that. He's loading up on his right leg. So that's a right left shot. Let's see if he goes into a right left shot when he shoots. Right. He goes into a hop. Right hop shot. So for me, I'm like, I think you should practice your shot the same way that you would always shoot. So the defense never knows what you want to do, right? So let's rewind that.
Roller coaster results.
So right here.
Get low, get low.
Why wouldn't you catch that in a right, 1-2, but on balance, right? 1-2, but now it's a right 1-2 split. And it's like, yeah, but he's driving left. But it's like, you don't know you're driving left until the defense gets there. So you want your shot, your drive, your crossover, you want everything to look the same.
Find it hard shooting going to the left because your tendency is to put the weight on what foot? On the left, right? So this is where when you make that drop, we're here, I drop, straight down. Put it big.
And that's the same, I'd say that's the same on the catch too.
Be here with it.
Straight down.
In your body. Feel what you're doing, okay?
So a little bit more on balance, but still big split stance, but that's better. And better there too. So isn't it interesting how me and Mike are fixing the same problems, but getting there in different ways? This is why different like coaching perspectives are so important, because I might be saying something that just won't resonate with this kid, and then the way Mike explains it, it does. But hold on. Hold on now. Let's watch this. So right, left, crossover step. Okay.
Great job.
Right, left. So he's doing the crossover step again. So he's driving with a crossover step now, whereas before he was driving with an outside step, right?
I know this isn't going to happen all the time, but for now, since we're so focused on the balance piece, I want this part of your body stacked at all times, meaning this is stacked, this isn't stacked. So for now, when I make that turn, the first thing you do, I don't want you going here for now.
Yes.
Let's feel balance, right?
Agreed.
So instead, when I rip through, I can sink lower into the hips this way.
Yeah, this is what I mean. But again, I think your footwork, you might as well just catch it the way you'd shoot it, right? Catch it the way you'd shoot it, catch it the way you drive it. And it's not natural. That's why it's something you definitely have to work on. But as a scorer, for sure, it's so important to have your catch and your shot, your drive and your shot look the same.
But my chest stays proud and balanced that way, okay? You want to lean. When you lean, your habit sequentially is to do what? Move ball and body at the same.
So, and this is also why I don't focus on shooting mechanics too much. So I wouldn't say I'm a shooting coach, but if you fix the other parts, if you fix the balance and fix the footwork, then the shot by itself, the shot can be its own thing now. They can go work on the shot by themselves, but if they have good balance, good footwork, good athletic stance, all that sort of stuff, the rest kind of falls in place. Where people freak out too much is they overthink the shot when the balance, like this guy is not on balance. This guy has different footwork every time he catches it. It's like, yeah, of course your shot's going to be off because you're shooting a different shot every time.
Same time. The more I lean and I get into that shot here, I have to get my body out of the way. You're left with no other choice, right? So you're moving into what the habit is, right? From the very beginning, let's offset that. Here we go.
Yep, right, left, step. Okay, interesting. So, yeah, interesting videos. I'll react more to Mike Dunn stuff. I think we teach very differently. We teach like we start from different spots. He starts more from the shot. I start more from the athletic stance and footwork, and just I think back to the beginning, right? So if the very beginning of the play on the catch, if things aren't already perfect, I'm like, okay, there's no point thinking about what happens at the end. I'm very like process driven, not results driven. So even if a kid is making 10 for 10 shots, I'm going to be like, hold on, there's so many things we can fix here. Whereas a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you shot 5 for 10. Let's change some things now. So I think we just start from different areas. We kind of start, again, would love to have this conversation, but overall pretty good. I think if you're watching these types of videos to try and help make your shot better, just be aware it can cause more confusion, because like I said, there's not a real person there that we're able to give feedback to. We're just speaking out our ideas, and hopefully it lands in some of y'all's ears. But really, if you want to work on your shot, you want to improve your shot, the most important thing you can do is just shoot. Just go shoot more shots. If your elbow is hurting, then you need to ask for some advice. If you're never getting your shot off because you shoot a granny shot, then you need to ask for some advice. But if you're shooting it pretty much somewhere around here and you're shooting it with one hand, you're fine. I promise you, you're okay. There's been some horrendous shots that have become Hall of Famers. Okay, so you're fine. Don't overthink it. That's the worst thing you can do with your shot. Anyways, I enjoyed this, and we'll react to more Mike Dunn stuff. I want to see some more of his stuff, but keep sending things through. I appreciate you guys. See you in the next one.